Just made it back from the Carlsbad Strawberry fields. Not gonna lie, took a couple nibbles at a few strawberries already, and I have to admit they are super sweet and delicious. Can't wait to share this recipe with you, and let's just jump right into it. From the start, we are going to be using a cake flour in lieu of all-purpose flour, especially since this is an angel food cake, which is pretty much just whipped egg whites, and then you fold in all of your dry ingredients. It just yields better crumb for this application. So let's just jump right into it. Thanks for coming along. To start this recipe off, I'm gonna sift 1¼ cups of cake flour and 1¾ cups of granulated sugar and 1¼ teaspoon of salt. I'm going to sift this 5 times through. Any grainy bits, go ahead and discard. And we're going to set this mixture aside and work on the egg whites. Now we're going to take a 1½ cups of egg whites, whip it together with a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we're going to whip this until it's stiff peaks. Now that we have the egg whites whipped to stiff peaks, we're going to fold in the dry ingredients. Now I have here an ungreased ring mold, a 10-inch ring mold. It has a removable bottom. It'll make it easier later on. I'm going to take the batter and disperse it around the pan. I'm going to go through with a little offset spatula. And just gently even and flatten it out. So with this cake, we're starting it off in a cold oven. And then we're going to start the oven at 325 degrees. And we're going to let this bake off until it's a nice golden brown. Typically on a cake you would tap it down. But since this isn't a meringue, pretty much, you don't want to lose any of that volume from those eggs, so that's why I'm using a spatula and not tapping it down. So in the oven this is going to go, starting the oven at 325. Right now it is off. You don't want to overcook it, but it is going to go at 325 for an hour. Next, we're going to take some strawberry jam with a little bit of water and microwave it until it's warm and viscous. Now that my jam is nice and viscous, I'm going to let it cool down a little bit. And this is what we're going to end up using to glaze the strawberries. The strawberries we're going to wash, cut, and quarter. So here we have the strawberries. We're just taking that jam, and tossing the strawberries with said jam. Now I'm piping whipped cream along the border and filling in with those glazed strawberries, piling them nice and high. And there you have it on this week's episode of Christina Just tried making an angel food cake topped with some super fresh picked strawberries. If you have the opportunity, I'd highly suggest you try going out and harvesting your own. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode and stay tuned for next week's. Until then, have a good one and bye-bye.